Hi everyone, it's me Shweta. I saw some of the comments on YouTube in Josiah's latest short where he was explaining how pseudocodes have changed his life. And there were comments like, I'm a programmer. Pseudocode, just so you know, it isn't real code. In the programming world, it doesn't do anything. It sounds like you're just slapping on a fancy term. And they're right in one way. By itself, both in programming and in Brave Mystic training, pseudocode isn't what's running or rewriting the code. Let me give you a little context. In Brave Mystic training, we use systems language extensively as a metaphor. It's a pretty big part of the simulation mastery component of the program. Code, logic, systems thinking, all of this gives us a way to better understand how consciousness works at the individual level. And one of the tools that we borrow from systems thinking and code logic is pseudocodes. And I'm not an expert, but from what I understood, in programming, pseudocode is just like a rough sketch of an idea. It's not the finished code that a computer can read or run. It's more like an outline or a recipe that shows the steps and the logic of what eventually the code needs to run. The programmer reads it, then turns it into real code that the machine can then use. So pseudocode itself doesn't do anything, but it's still essential because it's like the bridge. And that's exactly how we use it in Brave Mystic training. Our pseudocodes are structured symbolic sketches as well. They're written in a way that your individual awareness can read. And it's using individual signal styles and symbolic language and the latest studies on how subconscious mind processes information. So it lines up with how, what we already know about how the subconscious mind and the different layers of awareness that we have process information. Your awareness is the interpreter of the pseudocode. It takes the pseudocode, reorganizes your natural intelligence operating system, which is what we call your individual node of consciousness. We say NIOS for short. And that new logic then runs in your reality, and it gets expressed out in the output of your reality. That's what we believe is happening. That's what the tool we believe is actually doing. So it's not necessarily that the pseudocode itself is rewriting your reality or the codes of reality. What's happening is it's providing symbolic instruction so that the deeper version of you that's interpreting it, the subconscious mind, the deeper dimensional self that's interpreting it, can then use that to reorganize your individual node of consciousness. Now that sounds complicated. Actually, I think when we start to lay it out, you'll see how aligned it is to how Neville saw us. We are absolute consciousness keyed low in a very narrow bandwidth compared to our infinite self, and we run in a cyclical nature. And he talked a lot about how what we experience in this reality is based on the arrangement of the mind, which I see as syntax and code. So there's a lot to be said here, but just thought I would try to close the loop there, that the pseudocode, we know that's not real code. We know it's instructions so that when the interpreter who does the real coding can take in those instructions and create something new.